Welcome to Big Blue's Exploration. This week we are coming from Nozawa Onsen in Japan. I was there just over a week and a half ago, and the conditions when I was there was very good. They had plenty of fresh snow with about 8 or 10 inches plus on the first day of skiing there. Nozawa Onsen has about 1,000 meters of vertical up to about 1,800 meters. At the top, it's got two areas with bubble connections. The one on the left hand side of the map and one on the right hand side. The population in Nozawa is roughly somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 people. But when skiing time and in summer, there's tremendous amounts of visitors, a lot of Australians and some other foreigners, and then Japanese as well. I stayed at the Shimataya Hotel, which is operated by Nozawa Hospitality, who run a number of hotels in Nozawa. What I did find is that it was very expensive for what it was, but that wasn't in comparison to some of the other places which were even more expensive, budgeting between £150 to £200 a night in Nozawa during peak skiing season to have a suitable hotel. There are other options available through pensions, which are guest houses, and through small independent hotels, but you do need to be able to contact them directly in order to get the bookings, as many of these small places have stopped offering accommodation through booking sites and require you to contact them directly. The skiing conditions when I was there were very good. There was a good variety between powder and piste and not so much powder, but one of the issues with Nozawa Onsen is that, like a lot of Japan, the ski patrol are almost non-existent, meaning that when it comes to patrolling or opening parts that would be opened in the rest of the world are not opened in Japan due to the risk associated with them not wanting to take the risk and not having enough qualified patrollers or ski instructors to actually fill the vacancies, let alone to allow them to expand the terrain that they have opened. What you find with Nozawa is that there are a few long runs, notably the 26, which is on the far right of the map, and then on number 11 going on to 18 or 20 something from the left hand side of the map, which also offers quite a good ascent. The longest run in Nozawa is about somewhere between 5 and 6 kilometers. After skiing, Nozawa offers a great array of onsens, public baths, which are free and open to your use, generally between about 10 and 11 o'clock in the morning, but sometimes as early as 6 or 7, up until 11 o'clock at night. Some are only open until 7. Obviously, they will accept any donations, especially if you're frequenting the onsens more than once a day. There's a good amount of food options in Nozawa with many cuisines on offer, but again, you need to book in order to not be disappointed, especially as there's such large groups go to Nozawa. Then all these restaurants, especially the most popular ones, get booked out quickly. Nozawa restaurants are on the expensive side for Japan. Japan, you can normally get a good meal for somewhere between 10 to 15 and maybe $25, but there, especially if you're having more high-end food, like especially with fish, you will be paying double that. and substantially more than what you would have to pay at Yuzunaka Station, which is a more typical Japanese town with much less foreigner interactions. So that is a drawback with Nozawa, is it is quite expensive to eat out and to stay. But it's worth visiting for a couple of nights and a couple of days of skiing. I think for a family, Nozawa Onsen would be a little bit more tricky, but again will offer good progression for those who are just learning to ski or snowboard. You do need to pay particular attention that there are quite a lot of snowboarders that visit Nozawa, making it essential that you do watch out, especially as a lot of the snowboarders seem to like to stop in the middle of the piste rather than at the sides, which means that you have to be ultra vigilant to ensure that you do not knock into any of these boarders, or the same as the skiers as well. With the variety that Nozawa offers, it would make a good family ski trip for a few days, maybe 3 or 4. But overall, I would give Nozawa about a 7.8. The reasons for that score is one, that the skiing was very good, excellent in some parts, that the accommodation, there's plenty of it. It's only just over two and a half hours from Tokyo by public transport. But the reason it's lost some marks is because not all the runs are looked after as well as it could be, and that they try to dissuade people from accessing powder, which Japan is known for being like the powder capital. So it's a shame that because of the infrastructure and access to rapid emergency services, which they do not have, then they're shying away from opening up terrain that would be comparable to the US and Canada and would offer visitors something excellent to try. Overall, I was very satisfied with Nozawa Onsen, but it's definitely not in the top 10, not even sure it's in the top 20 of the 80 ski resorts that I have now visited. But overall, satisfied enough to say that I do rate it quite highly for what it is, and very highly for the limited nature of the mountain itself. So over the next couple of weeks, we will be going to the USA and exploring, in sharp contrast, much more difficult and powdery terrain in many of the places that we're going. Hope you will stay tuned to follow me there. Please remember to like, share the videos, and any comments and feedback would be most welcome. Thanks again for listening, and I'll leave you now with just a little bit more footage of Nozawa Resort, thinking it is a good place for you to visit, and I commend it to you. Thank you very much.